Why are you running for the Missouri House?
Well, I have a young family, and I think my desire was to protect them, give my two little girls a chance to grow up in the same environment I got to grow up in, where there was opportunity and the economy was growing, and there was a chance to go to the school I wanted and kind of take on the job that I wanted. And so I think one that's important is to protect my family and make sure they have a government that we like and that will represent them well. And so that's really the main reason. And then secondly, at the core, my values are very conservative, and I wanted to ensure that we have conservative values that remain here when Jeannie becomes our next senator, that we're represented by a conservative representative.
What issue would you say is not getting enough attention in the legislature right now?
That's a really good question. I think that jobs in the economy. When I go door to door, and we've hit so many doors in the last over the last year. The main issue that people have is their pocketbooks. You know, what's happening in the economy. How are we going to create jobs? How am I going to pay my bills? How are we going to make ends meet? That's the biggest concern out of anything. So I don't think there's necessarily a lack of working on that in Jeff City. I just think we need to be laser focused on that. The economy is such a big deal to people, and I'm serious. Every day that we hit doors, I'm meeting constituents that are worried about the economy.
What do you think the state's overall policy should be toward taxes and tax credits?
That's a two-part question. I think for taxes, I think people ought to be able to earn more of what they make. I think that's very important. I think individuals spend their money a lot better than the government does. The second part, the tax credits, I think those need to be reined in, because that provides opportunities for maybe larger businesses that maybe individuals won't have an opportunity for. So outside of tax credits that everybody gets an opportunity to have a chance at, I think tax credits on a general basis provide an unlevel playing field.
What do you think the state's overall policy should be toward education?
Education, that's a great question, and something that's obviously the constituents in our area are very interested in. I think education, we need to fund education to the extent that our school districts need it. I also believe that we need to continue to push them to use technology the best they can. A couple months ago, I was in Fulton for the opening of the fabrication lab up there, and it was really amazing. These students are coming in, they're learning about today's technologies, and they're so excited about being there. They're learning about 3D printing and some other opportunities. And I think we just need to expand education to allow for today's economy. That education is innovative, and really allows individualistic education per child, as opposed to a kind of a much more push towards a broad education. So I think we need to think for each individual child and figure out what they're really good at and let them excel there. And then also, while also getting kind of the core necessities in their education.
If elected, what would be your top three priorities?
Top three priority, that's a great question. Jobs in the economy is absolutely the biggest thing. Excuse me. Yeah, top three priorities would be jobs in the economy, making sure that this economy is getting going in Missouri. You know, we're losing, in 2012, we lost a congressional seat, and that's based on population moving. We're not growing as fast as we need to be. So I believe the economy is a driver of population growth. Secondly, I think conservative values. I really want to stand for solid families and for freedom and for the ability of people to have a limited government, so it's not getting in the way of succeeding in our society. And then the third is really ensuring pro-life principles and Second Amendment rights are continue to be the important issues that we see here in our local community.